All right, so last thing I want to do here, let's go over and talk about this Thrive Fantasy GPP for this week, like we always end the show with here.
Yeah.
There's going to be 10 over-unders that they're offering us. You get different amount of points for each one based on the likelihood of it happening. Things that are more likely to happen are going to pay you less than 100 points. Things that are less likely to happen are going to pay you more than 100 points. You only have to pick 5 of these, and the idea is to try to get as many points as you can. The person with the most points at the end of the day wins. There are some of these things that are very likely to happen, but they're paying you a very low amount of points to do so. So if you take all those, you're probably not giving yourself enough chance to even get to the top of this tournament. And the best you're going to be looking at is a little bit of a min cash. So there's a couple different layers of the strategy here. You got to take some chances, but you got to take smart chances. And, you also got to look and say, hey, I know these things are likely to happen, but if they're not paying me enough, I don't want to take them. And you'll see what we're talking about as we go through them. So, Frank, I'm going to ask you, we'll go rapid fire down the whole list. You tell me which side of these you would end up on. The first one is Tiger Woods, 67.5 strokes. The under is paying 110. The over is paying 90.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely over, but at 90, it's tough. But I'm honestly not even that adverse to playing this. I think you can play this over at 90, to be honest. We've seen in recent weeks the Thrive stuff get a little bit sharper. I think the number's a little bit tighter. So I think you need to pick spots at times to where 90 is going to be playable. He'd have to shoot 3 under to get there. I unless I'm missing something, I don't see how this course plays that easy. I think even par is going to be a great score. I could be dead wrong about that. Paulie usually has some information that I don't, from people on the ground or whatever. But from everything I've seen, I think this might be playable at 90. I wouldn't be, adverse to playing this.
Yeah, there's a bunch of other ones we'll talk about later where the likely thing to happen is only paying 85 points. So if you're choosing between those two, obviously 90 is more than 85, and that's how you win the game. So that's definitely something that I would keep in my pool too. So the next one, I'm going to channel Paulie here and tell you guys just don't play. It's whether or not Bryson gets an eagle. And yes, if Bryson does get the eagle, you could win the tournament. But as Paulie points out all the time, even at 150 points on the over, you're still 50 to 100 points.
You're only getting 2 par 5s, and they're incredibly long. All the other holes are incredibly long, so it's not like really that, hitting some short wedges in are gonna, even for Bryson, hitting some short wedges in or something and spin one back in the hole or something like that, it's just not gonna happen.
All right, so remember, this is only for the Thursday. This isn't the entire tournament long one. It's just for the Thursday one. And for the Thursday one, total birdies for Justin Thomas, 3.5. Over is 85. Under is 115.
Under.
Yeah, I feel like that's wrong. Am I looking at that the wrong way or no?
I mean, again, unless I'm misinterpreting the course, I would definitely play under here. I don't know. This course is in New York City. It's somewhat out near you. The weather has been nice here in Pittsburgh, and it looks like it's going to be like 75 and sunny every day in the near future. We generally get the weather a little bit before you guys. So I'm sure that the weather is going to be decent unless this course softens up a lot. This is definitely under.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it's supposed to be at the end of the week. It's gotten a little bit colder here, but when I say a little bit colder, like t-shirt and sweatpant weather instead of just like shorts and no shirt.
Right.
So it's not really like cold.
But I don't think it's going to rain. So I think.
Yeah, as far as I know, I think it's supposed to be nice all weekend, which will be nice. I'm going to knock on wood right now so I don't screw myself over on two accounts there.
Yeah.
All right, so Ricky Fowler is the next one here. 11.5 pars for Ricky Fowler. This is one of those even money ones where over-under is, right there. And remember, it's 11.5 pars, so we're not just thinking about birdies. We're also thinking about bogeys here because either one of those is going to knock him off that 11.5 par.
Yeah, this is probably about right. I definitely lean to the under. It probably should be like 11 or so, especially with Ricky. I think there's plenty of bogeys to be out there. He can get really hot with the putter, which might lend itself to a handful of birdies as well. I think you could split this one or avoid it. I'm pretty indifferent about this.
All right, so coin flip. If you had to, probably a slight lean under, but if we don't have
if you're looking for one at the end, like, I got 4, I need one more, I would maybe just play the under there and, maybe 3 or 4 bogeys, 3 or 4 birdies, something like that.
All right, so Jordan Spieth, guy that I know Paulie would be betting against left and right if he was here since he's been doing that every other week. 3.5 bogeys for Jordan Spieth. Over 3.5 bogeys is 115. Under is 85. How bad is Jordan Spieth going to be this week?
Yeah, I would definitely play the over. I mean, the probability of him blowing up is so high. I'm just trying to look at his recent scorecards to find when he hasn't made four. But it looks like round one at Safeway, an incredibly easy tournament, he made three. And then he made three with a triple in there. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just browsing his recent tournaments. This guy's going to blow up. He doesn't hit it long enough. He doesn't hit it straight enough. He sprays it all over the planet. Any comparable course. I mean, I'm looking at the easy courses he's playing. He's making three bogeys around. You know, probably 2.5, 3 would be his number at a normal course. I don't see how he gets around here without making four bogeys. I just don't see it. So I would definitely play the over at 115. You could probably make a case for this being appropriately priced or a little bit short, and the overplaying, plus money. I'm taking that.
All right, so next one, our tournament favorite in Dustin Johnson, 4.5 eagles and birdies. Over is paying 110, which is asking a lot that he'd have to get.
Yeah.
Under is paying 90.
Yeah, this is probably pretty accurately priced. The par fives aren't going to be, two birdies necessarily. I mean, he could be. He's certainly not going to make any eagles, I wouldn't say. But these aren't going to be par fives where you're like, oh wow, he definitely should birdie this hole. Because if you miss the fairway, I mean, even if he's hitting 65% fairways, something like that, which he won't this week, but even if he was, he hits one of the fairways, it's still going to be tough to get there and get the ball on the green and two putt it. So decent chance he's in the rough on those holes, and then you're just hacking out, and you're still going to have 160, 170, 150 in, something like that. So into a super tough green, and I feel like I want to play under, but at 90, I don't really think it's worth a shot. In case the course plays easy, this kind of reminds me of that Tiger one where I wouldn't hate playing it, but probably gonna avoid it.
Yeah, so you wait till the end if you need it. That's another one that you can kind of look at here. So here's an interesting one. Justin Rose, 12.5 pars plus bogeys. Now, over that number is only paying 80. Under that number is paying 120. The problem with the under here would mean that he would have to go just absolutely bananas and have a whole bunch of birdies for this to work, right?
Yeah, this is probably a pretty good one just to write off. Rose is pretty. I mean, he's had some crazy results. He started the restart pretty good with his equipment change. He slowed down a lot, but he is a good ball striker, and that I think he'll go tee to green or tee to around the green pretty easily. So, I think this is pretty good, pretty well priced number here.
So here's a crazy one. Rory, total strokes 66.5 here.
Yeah.
And the under is juiced way up. I mean, you could get 130 points if you think Rory can go 4 under in the first round here. Can Rory go 4 under in the first round?
No. I mean, he can. Like you said, if he gets hot with the driver, you're looking at a 3 under, 4 under round for sure. But
not something you'd be willing to bet on.
Is he going to hit, 12 out of 14 fairways? I doubt it. I doubt it. The putter has been really bad for him. When he's playing well, the putter goes really good. And when he's playing bad, the putter goes really bad. He struggled for like a year and a half, not winning any tournaments because he couldn't putt. As soon as the putter came around, he started winning a ton of tournaments. It's been bad again. No, I don't see. I just don't see it. He hasn't been playing particularly well either.
So this being a tough course here, I don't know if this guy's going to get anywhere near this number, but our next one is Jon Rahm. 5.5 birdies he needs. That's a lot of birdies. Now, again, if he goes over, if he gets 6 birdies, you're getting 135 points. I kind of don't feel like that's enough points, though, for me to take that shot.
It's kind of funny to me how close this price is to Bryson making an eagle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It feels like these should be way more separated, but they're probably really not. I mean, Rahm could birdie the 2 par 5s, find some birdies along the way, make some bogeys, shoot 1 or 2 under maybe. I don't see the value in playing either side though.
Yeah, and again, the unders on these last two, Rory is probably not likely to go under 66.5, but you play the over, you only get 70. Rahm is probably not likely to get 6 birdies here, but you play the under, you only get 65 points, and 70, 65, these are not going to be enough points for you to win because one of these things may come in, One of these 130s may come in, and then you wasted 2 spots on 2 guys to get the same 130 points that somebody else got with 1. you're going to be putting yourself behind the 8 ball there. So I know those are the more likely things to happen, but you don't want to take when it's that low of points on this site over here at Thrive. So we're down to the last one here. It's an even money one, 67.5 strokes for our boy Colin Morikawa. Over, under, or is this just one of those, like, when you get down to the end, if you need it, you figure out, take one, like Paulie always says, coin flip it and put one in with over and one in with under and take the 300 points.
Yeah, I would play the over. I really would. I mean, I know Morikawa's great, good ball striker. He actually is really good on par 5 as well. His par 5 scoring is among the best on the tour. But 67.5, like I said, going through the scores from the last time they played here, I just don't see it. 7,500 yards for a guy that doesn't hit the ball very far. He is pretty accurate, and he has decent length. He's not bad. He is one of the better iron players in the world, but I still think he's definitely a guy that starts slower too. You see him kind of make his move on Saturdays. I don't know. I just don't see how, unless I'm completely misinterpreting this, how the course is going to play. I don't see how these guys are getting to 3 under, 4 under in this tournament. So 2 under, you cash this, it would be, in my opinion, a great round. 2 under would be a great round for anybody. That's not to say nobody's going to get to like 3 under, 4 under, but the odds are, I think most of these guys are going to be around par. And at 67.5, I'm definitely going to take the over on this one.
All right, so there you go. That sums it up. That's all 10 of the props that they're offering us over here on Thrive Fantasy. Remember, you can go over to thrivefantasy.com, sign up, use promo code ELITE. I think the offer that they have, I got to see if it's still active, but I'm pretty sure that you put in $250, they're going to match your $250. But there is a 4 times rollover on that money, meaning that you have to play it at least 4 times what you put in before they allow you to pull anything out of it. But hey, they're giving you a free $250 and it gives you a little bit of time to play. They also have that prop lobby open over there. So you could watch the Proper Education show with our boys, Brian Healy and Ricky Sanders. They've been killing that every day over here. You can watch that show. You can get some of that information, and you can go over to Thrive Fantasy and try to make some money on that in their prop lobby. Frank, you guys still doing Daily Bubble here today, talking a little bit of NBA action, I assume?
Yeah, we haven't. We've been, I don't want to say behind on it. We haven't really been doing because we haven't had anything to talk about, kind of hashed out everything, over the last couple of days, given the games. We got a Game 7, Denver Clippers tonight. Been a really good series. Kind of, picked the wrong one. I thought this was going to be Houston was going to be more like the Denver series that we've seen. So, I think that we may be talking about Miami Boston today. See if Drew has anything. Doesn't do us a lot of good to go on and talk for an hour about nothing. So if we can find some value in this game or in these games, or Drew can find some value, we'll certainly talk about it.
All right, so there you go. Remember, they'll have all the rest of the golf plays. Paulie will have his stuff up before the end of the week. Check out Elite Fantasy. You can get the GPP and the cash game articles by Frank and Paulie over there. And then tonight at 8 o'clock, they're going to do the live stream where they break all this stuff down. So make sure you get over there. Make sure you visit our sponsor here at Thrive Fantasy. Throw some money in over there, play some of these, and go ahead and take it down and win some money. Winning money is always a good thing there.